during your initiation, you have promised several things. Many things, in fact. But let's put it in a nutshell that's easier. After one has received the initiation, one should not talk about the initiation to people who are not qualified, who do not know anything. The reason is because it might give wrong understanding or misunderstanding. And is your understanding enough to share? So we have to be careful about that. So not to reveal Tantra to people who are not ready. And to reveal Tantra to people who have taken Tantra but who have lost faith or who have not committed, who have kind of not stuck with the Lama and went away, we're not allowed to share the Tantric practices with them anymore. That's not something that I made up. This is what it says. So therefore, every day, in fact, after initiation, it is said that if we want to keep our practice very strict, we should not reveal the images of our yidam. It should be covered away. It should not be seen by anyone, whether it's a statue or it is a picture. Now, my teacher, one of my teachers, Khyentse Jampa Yeshe Rinpoche, the Abbot Emeritus of Confidentiality, told me that if we were to keep a picture of our yidam, because we just like to see the yidam, we like to make offerings, and we like to have something visual there, it is permissible that if we have one original photo, tanka, representation, fully covered, and think that this is my yidam, this is my main yidam's image, and put it away behind something that no one can see, and then have a second picture or second image that is revealed and opened. So the second one can be seen by others. That's what Rinpoche told me. Then you wouldn't be breaking the commitment of keeping it so-called secret. All right? Then you have to do your 21 Vajrasattva mantras daily. So in the Vajrayogini long sadhana, it's already inclusive. So every single day, you must recite the Vajrasattva mantra 21 times according to the tantra that you have received. The reason is because we have heavy habituations, it's very hard for us to keep our commitments totally pure. So when we do Vajrasattva daily, we stop the karma for infraction of our commitments to increase. So the infraction, the karmic consequences of it infracting, or the infraction of it, will not increase. Then every day we must do the 6-session Guru Yoga. The 6-session Guru Yoga, the short one, if we can do the long one, that's the best. The short one, written by Khyentse Pabongka Dorjichang, or Pabongka Rinpoche, is used. So after Dalai Lama's initiation, after initiation in Ganden, Sera, Drepung, all of Ganden, Sera, Drepung, Namgyal Monastery, all of these great monasteries, all of these great sanghas, all these practitioners, they use the 6-session Guru Yoga as composed by Khyentse Pabongka Rinpoche, Pabongka Dechin Ningpo in Tibet. And Pabongka was requested to recite, to compose something short for people who claim they didn't have time to do the long one. So the short 6-session Guru Yoga, you should recite 3 in the morning, 3 at night. If you find that difficult, 6 times per day, as and when you like. Alright? And then you have to do Tsok twice a month. On the lunar 10th and 25th, you must do Tsok twice a month. And if you cannot make it to Tsok for a very good reason, then you need to do your Yidam's mantra 3 times more than a normal commitment. So if you promise to do 3, then on Tsok day, if you cannot make it, you do 9. Alright? Then the next one is that you have to do your mantra every single day. Whatever mantra you've committed to. If you break it, you have to double it. If you break it again, you have to double it. If you break it again, you have to double it. So if you promise 3, if you break it, you have to do 6. If you break it, you have to do 12. If you break it, you have to do 24. If you break it, you have to do 48. So it's double the amount, not double from the original. Okay? So 48 times 2, and so on if you break it. When can you go back to the original? You can go back to the original if you get that initiation again. Alright, if you get the same exact initiation again, it doesn't need to be the same Lama in case your Lama has passed away. If you have to get the same initiation again, and when you swear in for the number, you cannot swear in the original number, you have to swear in the next number. So if you swore in 3 originally, the next time you have to swear 6. So let me make that clear. The only way you can clear your breaking of the mantras is if you get the initiation again. If you get the initiation again, you cannot promise what you promised the first time. You have to promise double what you promised the first time. So it's the second time toward your Vajrayogini initiation, and the first time you promised 3, the second time you have to promise 6. All right. That's if you are to. Then from henceforth, you can do the mantra 6 times every day and or more. Of course, you should do more. All right. So, next one is some lamas ask you to do short. Some lamas ask you to do long. Some lamas ask you no mantra. No sadhana, just the mantra. Okay. So if you are to do the sadhana every day, of course you do it every day, but that is optional according to what the lama gave you. But just because you don't have the commitment, you shouldn't say, I don't have to do it. Because you see, the actual commitment to do is the sadhana, the meditation, the practice, the mantra, vajrasattva, and the 5 Buddha family commitments. The actual practice is the whole thing. So what lamas are doing now is that they're condensing the commitments every day, hoping that without the commitment to do it every day, you will automatically do it anyway. Because if you have to do 10 to become fully enlightened, how could you do 2 every single day to replace the 10 to become enlightened? So if you are supposed to do 10 every single day, you have to do 10 every single day, whether you have the commitment or not. For example, if there's a long sadhana of Vajrayogini for you to do to become enlightened, you got to do the long one. By skipping out on the long one and just doing the short one, you're not going to get the benefits of the long one. Then you might think, well, why is there a short one? Well, there's a short one just to keep up the blessings. So you overcome your particular problem or obstacle. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you're not well. Maybe you have some issues. So it's just to do for a few days and then you do the long one. Although you don't have a commitment to do the long one, you should do the long one. If you don't do it, you don't break your promise. You don't break your commitment, but neither do you get faster to enlightenment. So therefore, if you're supposed to do 10 things to achieve enlightenment through Vajrayogini's practice, Yamantaka or Hiruka, then you say, well, I only promised to do 2, so I'm going to do 2 every single day, and I'm going to wish for enlightenment through that. Well, that's not going to happen because you promised to do 2 where you should do 10. So if you didn't promise to do 10, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do 10. Does everybody understand that? All right. I'm not being tough on this. I'm trying to be very clear, very open, and very pragmatic about tantric practice. And this applies to Yamataka, Hiruka, Guya Samach, all the other ones. So don't think this is just for Vajrayogini. All right? The next one is you should, before your death, actually, this is what Saramji told us at our initiation, before our death, we should in fact have the will and create the causes and circumstances and actually finish a full-length Vajrayogini retreat with fire puja, with offerings and the full ritual. So before we die, we should think, I will learn up how to do that. I will do that and I will finish it. So that's very important to do before we die. For any strange reason that we make this wish today and tomorrow we die, well, we didn't break this commitment if our intent was there to do it. We do break our commitment thinking that I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Maybe later, maybe. Because you know what? You can kind of fool people around you, but you can't fool your own karma. You can also play games with your own mind, but you can't fool your own karma. So therefore, before you pass away, you should finish a full-length Vajrayogini retreat, full mantra count, with full ritual, concluding with a fire puja. All right. Last but not least is that there are tantric clothes, tantric ornaments, and tantric instruments that everybody is supposed to carry with them wherever they go, like a Vajra bell and Damaru and all that stuff. Wherever you go, you should carry that with you. Well, it's going to be a little heavy and it's going to be a lot. And there are some things like, bone dresses, bone ornaments, bone, armlets and bone, bracelets and bone skirts. I mean, where are we going to get that today? So what happens is that there's a sheet that's available that is drawn out all the tantric ornaments, all the tantric dress, and all the tantric offerings that we need is kind of drawn out on a sheet, and we can carry that around. All right, we can carry that sheet around, and that will be all right. If there's a big demand on that, I can actually Xerox or I can blog that piece of paper, and I can put it up on my blog site where people can download it and keep that sheet inside their book, not to be seen by others. So therefore, if that's kept with you, then you keep the tantric commitments of keeping all these items near you that are auspicious, and that are necessary for your attainments. All right? So therefore, if there's no request for that, you can get it from somewhere else, or you have it already, that's wonderful. So therefore, in short, after initiation, post-initiation is much more important than the actual initiation. So we need to get a very good grounding in teachings such as the Bodhisattva, Charyavatara, the Wheel of Sharp Weapons, especially the Lamrim, the three principal paths. If we can, Ornament of Clear Realization by Maitreya. We should study up on our tantric vows. That's very important. And afterwards, we have to hold our tantric vows. That's one very strong commitment. We should read our tantric vows daily or weekly till we are totally familiar with them. We should read and study up on our bodhisattva vows. Tapo Rinpoche in France has written a beautiful book on the bodhisattva vows, and everybody should get that and take a read and study it. It's very clear, very precise. So therefore, after initiation, we should hold our vows very strongly. We should hold our tantric and bodhisattva vows as if we protect our own eyes. And if we don't hold our vows and we do everything else, we're not going to get many attainments. You know, sometimes when we get angry, or sometimes when we're not happy, or sometimes when we're dissatisfied, we want to get someone back, or we want to perhaps, say something or do something, and we're satisfied from getting that person back. Well, you have to think, is it worth it to get this person back and sacrifice my Vajrayogini practice? Is it worth it to get this person back, or get this situation back, or just to win, or look good, or have a face, and then sacrifice my Yamataka, Guya Samaja, or whatever practice I'm doing? Because when you do that, you kind of break your vows. So you're kind of selling out on your tantric practice for that one person. Is that one person and winning over them more important than holding your vows? Because sometimes we get lost in the heat of the moment, in the passion, and what's happening. And we have to always think that whatever we say and do, whether it's wrathful or peaceful, or, whatever we say or do, we got to think it through fast. And if we can't think it through, that shows us clearly we're not ready for Tantra. We got to think it through fast, clean, and clear, and then do what we need to do, because we know clearly what we are doing. We can't say, later, I was angry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. The deed's been done, your vow's been broken. So therefore, in order to look good over someone, not to lose face, you don't want to admit you're wrong, you don't want to apologize, you don't want to, come out with the truth, you don't want to say something that might mean something else to somebody else because you want to look good, you don't want to lose face. Is that worth it? Is that worth it over your vows and your practice? It's not. Let the other person win. Very simple. So therefore, I'm looking at my notes here. After tantric initiation, one should hold your vows. Bodhisattva and tantric vows. One should do your Vajrasattva every single day, 21 times minimum or more. You have to do your 6-session Guru Yoga. You have to do your Tok twice a month. And if you can't do it, you got to do your mantra triple. You have to do your daily mantra recitation or more. And you have to do, up to you, what your Lama has given you, your short or long sadhana. But let me repeat again. Just because your Lama didn't ask you to do it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because that's part of the path. That's what we should be doing to become enlightened. Otherwise, why did we get the initiation in the first place? Okay? And before death, we need to do a full-length retreat of Vajrayogini, completed by a fire puja, sealed by a fire puja. How do we do that? If we don't know how, we can get someone to help us. Okay? And we should keep our tantric instruments. And if we don't have those, then we should keep those on a piece of paper, drawn out. Because whether they're drawn out or 3D doesn't specify. So drawn out is fine. Okay? Remember, all these things, post-initiation practice for the rest of our life is more important to gain attainments. And once you get an initiation, you don't have to run for any other initiations. You don't have to run for many tantric deities. Lama Tsongkhapa recommended San De Jiksung, Guya Samaja, Hiruka, Yamataka. He recommended for us as his disciples to do all 3 tantric practices because they complement each other. And for these degenerate times, they're very, very beneficial. But as times become even more degenerate after hundreds of years after Lama Tsongkhapa has gone into paranirvana, well, Pabongka Rinpoche recommended all of us to do Vajrayogini solely. And he kind of said that, look, this is the synthesis of all the Buddhas. This one counters all the negative attachments arising from desire we have during the Kali Yuga. My first teacher, Kensur Losang Tarchen Rinpoche, Kensur Losang Tarchen has passed away. His incarnation is back. He is from Saramay Monastery. And he told us, this was his exact words, when I was like 14, and we received the initiation from him in Howell, New Jersey. Great master, great Tibetan master. And he said, you guys are very lazy. And for lazy people like you who want big attainments, Vajrayogini is the perfect deity. That's what he said to all of us, okay? That's not what Tsem Rinpoche says, because Tsem Rinpoche doesn't know much, but this is what great masters, my gurus, have said. And I have full confidence in what they say. So I sit here talking to you with full confidence, not because I know so much, but because these came from the mouth of very learned masters. So I dare say it with a lot of confidence. So therefore, Kensur Losang Tarchen Rinpoche said that this would be the perfect yidam for lazy people. When he say lazy, he means attached, people who make excuses for not enough time, people who say they don't have enough knowledge, they don't have enough merits. Well, this includes lazy, because his meaning of lazy is very, very pervasive. He's very skillful, he's very compassionate. So therefore, I'm not calling you lazy, but I am saying that we are all inundated with samsara. And so if we want to combine all the deities into one, Vajrayogini would be totally perfect, totally wonderful for this day and age. All right? So this is the kind of commitments we need to keep after Vajrayogini, and I wanted to share that with you on this video. I wish you good luck, and I really wish that all of you would pursue the Vajrayogini path, and I wish you would find a qualified master, not me, a qualified master, and go and learn and listen. You see, I don't see my job as being a guru. I see my job as someone that is pushing you towards finding a guru, pushing you towards learning Dharma. I hope inspiring you towards doing more in your life toward Dharma wherever you are. I'm not here to become the guru of the world. I'm not here to be the master of the world. I am not here to be the Maha teacher of the planet. I have no intention, and I don't have the qualification. And I wouldn't want to be in that kind of position, even if I was qualified. But I'm kind of here to let you know that I have learned a lot of things in the last 30 years. I've sat at the feet of great lamas. I'm from Gondin, and well, I thought I'd share that with all of you. I thought I'd share that you should go and find your teachers. You should go and rekindle your relationship with your teachers, keep up your relationship with your teachers, and be very devoted. And find one practice, whether that's Vajrayogini or, Yamataka or Hiruka, it doesn't really matter. Find that one practice, go all the way, and don't run for a lot of initiations. After a lot of initiations, unless you're really qualified, you get confused. You have more to do, and you won't understand. I've talked to hundreds of people who've gotten in that situation. All right? One lama, one practice, one yidam, one commitment, and go all the way with it. And I wish all of you luck. I truly do. And I want you to attain something great within Vajrayogini's practice or any of your practices. Good luck. Thank you.